Welcome back to the channel. It is Thursday, July 13th, 2023, and I hope that you're having a good day wherever you're watching. Well, the Sister Wives Season 18 trailer has dropped, and I have just finished another video doing a deep dive on one of the largest storylines that we're going to experience, involving Janelle and her children. Trust me, this has been a long time in coming. What's happening in this season is that Janelle has decided to finally stand up for herself and her children. As for the children, they're making it very clear that they don't need Kody. They're grown and accomplished and are not interested in trying to pursue what never seemed to work in their favor. It's like they're saying at this point that if Robyn wants Kody, then that's fine. They want the peace that comes with not having Kody around. Exploration of this kind is very valid. But now, I don't think this is quite the ending that either Janelle or any of the children have envisioned for themselves. No one wants this type of reaction, but when you reach a point where you are either ignored, belittled, and made to feel as though your opinions do not matter, eventually the breaking point has been reached. And this season, it happens. In the comments I just posted for the video I uploaded, a lot of people said the same thing, that they swore they wouldn't watch Season 18. There's been a definite opinion about the way the kids have been used throughout the years, and this is a legitimate concern. On the other hand, I think that part of watching Kody deal with the consequences of his actions, that inherent want of justice, has to be part of this reality TV season as well. It's not just Janelle going toe-to-toe with Kody and Robyn. We're going to see some really tense, really awkward moments between Robyn and Meri too, the kind where no one knows where to look, and you can feel it through your TV screen. This will air on Sunday, December 13th on TLC at 10 p.m. EST. For some of you who do not or have not in a while been a part of the Sister Wives fanbase, let me tell you the thing about the show. It has always had its secrets. However, the cracks have gotten so bad the last few seasons it has not been possible to ignore them. A lot has been learned about what this family truly is and how they got there. One of the biggest revelations is about the addition of Robyn into the family. It was in fact Meri who suggested that it was necessary. She thought that it was her business, being Kody's legal wife, to ensure that Kody became godly enough. Really had much of a connection with her at all. There's been all sorts of talk about the fact that Robyn might have had a hand in causing a rift between Kody and Meri, and some people think she was involved in that catfish scandal. That's a whole other story in itself, and there are all sorts of rumors circulating. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised by much of anything that's happened. What we know for sure is that Meri and Kody finally announced their split towards the end of last season, right after the tell-all. It was in the form of a statement, and to be honest, it was even more like a formality than a surprise. In this season, however, we finally get to witness Meri decide to move away for good. As far as long-term fans are concerned, this is long overdue. Don't expect any fireworks or elaborate departure, as this might not turn out to be any big ado. What's more intriguing here is how Robyn is going to deal with this situation, because now, effectively, she is left alone with Kody. Looks like this definitely didn't turn out to be the happily ever after Robyn was expecting when she joined this family. We've been saying it for weeks now on this channel. The relationship between Kody and Robyn does not look stable, like it's just hanging by a thread. And if the Season 18 trailer is to be believed, it seems as if Robyn didn't want to be the sister wife or the monogamous wife, which of course is a rather big contradiction there. Whether they're doing it for the show or reacting in ways that reveal the true state of their relationship, it's getting to the point where it's hard to say what's what. One thing that is evident, however, is that a full-blown emotional break is what Robyn is getting this season. And by is, I mean it may very well go down in the Histrionics Hall of Fame, because this is huge, this is dramatic, and this is something that you simply can't tear your eyes away from. Before I can dive a bit deeper into today's topic, I have a quick favor to ask. If you like today's analysis on today's topic, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It would be a huge help. Remember to click the bell to be notified every time I make a new video. I would be happy to hear your comments and share this video with your family and friends. I would be happy to read your comments. First of all, let's discuss Robyn and Meri. Meri, quite frankly, has nothing much left to happen in her storyline. It is not meant as any sort of jab at her. That's simply the way that the situation is. She has nobody left close within that family dynamic. Christine and Janelle have already moved on, and Meri has nobody left to talk to. But this loneliness itself, that speaks volumes more than any dramatic moment ever did. Relationship with her in any way, shape, or form. And because of what happened in this last season, we know why that is now. Some of the kids in the Brown family have come out, and now it turns out that Meri wasn't exactly kind to them when they were kids. Some of the kids, like Peyton, Gwen, and Mykelti, have come out after this last season aired, talking about their experiences in this last season that just aired. Mykelti in particular shared a video where she expressed just how she was feeling. She said directly that she wanted nothing to do with Meri in the future. She also expressed that she couldn't trust Meri, that she couldn't feel safe in her presence, or that she thought Meri was a healthy influence in her life, which, by the way, is a tough thing for anybody to say, especially about somebody that was supposed to be in a parental role. Meri's anger, frustrations, and short temper have been discussed for years. That was not surprising information. However, it is surprising to see how much these issues impacted the kids, especially to what extent they continue to be affected. Nevertheless, towards the end, Meri was still holding on to Kody. And to be honest, it still seems as if nobody has any idea what to do with Meri. And then there's this point where she says, I don't want you to think that I'm walking away because I have lost hope. And you pick up this impression that despite everything, she has hope, or is holding on to the idea of having hope for that matter. While Kody is over here going, I don't even know what to do with Meri anymore, and is questioning why she is even living in Flagstaff for that matter. It's not, in a way, the most interesting storyline, but we need to be honest about that. However, at the same time, it also feels very necessary. This storyline has to be concluded somehow. It's necessary for the family to close the book on the story of Meri, to figure out how she could get out of the relationship with Kody and the rest of the family, and eventually get out of the show. Nevertheless, you almost feel sorry for her. It's hard to even process what it's like to be stuck in this situation for so long knowing that you're not doing well, and still not being able to walk away. It has to do with your contract obligations that you have on TLC, but it's deeper than that. Meri was the first wife. That meant a lot to her. It means a lot to her now. She doesn't want to relinquish it because this was also her family. She's being stubborn, yes, but also grieving an investment of a whole life. And that's where it gets complicated. Time, most of their family no longer has anything to do with her because of how she treated their children. And Kody is not kidding around in how he talks to her either. Essentially, he says, yeah, Meri, my family doesn't like you because of that. But what's weird is nobody ever actually talks to her on the show about why they're not around anymore. It's all suggested, hinted at, and left dangling in midair. Instead, Kody just wonders why she lives there in the first place. By now, we know she doesn't, at least not in the manner that the television show portrays. Meri doesn't have a place to rent in Flagstaff. She's either in Parowan, Utah, or traveling. Therefore, the "why are you still there" doesn't seem so relevant. It must be asked more for the television audience than anything. In addition to that, Meri has faced quite a bit of bad publicity. She is trying to rebrand herself as a life coach because she understands people and helps them live better. Now, people can certainly grow and improve. However, the contrast between that and the fact that some kids from her household have complained that her children were unhappy and displeased with her is a little harder to fully grasp. And then things take another turn. Since Kody is off fighting with the rest of the family, Meri has no choice but to confront him. Their talk quickly devolves into a huge emotional meltdown, and this time she's certain she's had enough. Robyn thinks Kody has hit the end of the rope. Kody, on the other hand, is just checked out, it seems. He's going to do what Kody's going to do. This is not the happy-go-lucky, silly guy we saw in the earlier seasons. That character of Kody Brown is long gone. Honestly, it reminded me of an old episode of Friends. You know the one. Ross and Rachel have their issues, Rachel gets pregnant, and Ross thinks maybe he has a shot at rekindling things. He heads over to Monica's apartment where Phoebe and Joey are sitting around, expecting some sort of reaction when he tells them Rachel wants to talk to him. And instead, nothing. Silence. Ross is standing there just totally stunned, just waiting for some excitement that never comes. And that moment of pause, of awkwardness, of realizing the story that you're telling yourself in your head, it doesn't actually add up to what's going on in the world, that's what the mood is here. This is exactly what Meri, and to be honest, Kody as well, appears to, because she has to pretend as though all of this is just new news to her. And let's be honest, she's known what was really happening all along. This is how I imagine Robyn in this scene. Meri comes to her and says, "Robyn, he doesn't want me anymore. He really doesn't want me." And Robyn gives that shocked look like she's just hearing it all for the first time, although all the while, we know that she's known all about this for years.
"He's not the happy-go-lucky Kody I used to know," Meri says, or something to that effect. I have to stop myself right in that moment because I ask myself, when exactly? Truthfully, Kody has never struck me as a happy or carefree guy in any of the seasons I've watched. What I've observed has been a guy who's become more aggressive and bitter with time, especially as he's had to maintain this facade and create reality show drama. If you've read the book, it doesn't present him as a particularly happy-go-lucky character either, so the entire notion just seems like another meticulously woven tale, something intended to pull at heartstrings, even if it doesn't necessarily mesh with the facts. But here's where it gets truly exciting. Meri finally tells Robyn she is leaving, she is through, and as soon as she says that, Robyn loses it. She is crying her eyes out. And I'm telling you, I don't think this has solely to do with the leaving aspect. I think she sees that the money train is slowing down. This wife is leaving her, this storyline, this financial safety net. "I just want you to know, I'm not going to be around," Meri says. He's married Robyn, and Robyn says, "This isn't what I wanted." Tears well up in her eyes, and she describes this dream that she's always had, about sitting on a porch with her sister wives, with their children and their grandchildren, as one big happy family. However, everything is changing. There's just so much drama, so much over-the-years drama, that this porch fantasy seems more like a storybook tale than something that ever really had a chance at reality. But Robyn still holds on to this vision. She's sobbing, hyperventilating over this loss of this vision. The ranch, the porch, the sister wives living in harmony. It's emotional, sure, but it's also somehow tangential to the reality that's been playing out before all of our eyes. Concerning that, I have to be honest, a part of me does think that Robyn's tears are genuine. However, another part of me simply cannot overlook what's happening here. Have you looked at Kody's expression? Just that says it all. Kody has been trying to throw Meri out for years. And then the minute Meri says, "I'm leaving," his face goes into full panic mode. You can just see the oh no bubble developing in his head. Our biggest income earner just walked out the door. And let's be blunt about it. Meri's LuLaRoe business raked in some serious cash. She was the biggest financial contributor in the family for a long time. Now that she's left, she's taken her suitcase with her, but also her income, her purchasing power, and her credit with her. That is a huge blow. So yeah, I'm sobbing about the porch and the sister wives. So yeah, that includes Robyn and the porch and the sister wives. But I do not think that's the whole story there.
I think a large part, according to the author in regards to the sobbing and the family drama on the TLC production Sister Wives, of the sobbing has to do with two very tough realizations. First, that she finds herself alone now with Kody, for the first time without any kind of buffer, so not having the other wives there. When Robyn entered the family, she made an open declaration of what she wanted. Robyn told the family that she did not care who she ended up with and what the circumstances of her relationships were. She wanted a good man and a good provider who has what it takes to take care of her and her children. It has been supported that this has been the position of some of the other children, including Peyton and Gwen. The trouble was, the price of safety was paid by everyone else. Since becoming part of the family, Robyn has lived a very comfortable lifestyle. Of course, this is undeniable. She has always had a nice place, nice cars, and lots of money to spend. And you should see her house, climbed wall to wall with stuff, upscale stuff. We are talking about such things as crystals of amethyst that go for thousands of dollars, literally sitting around like commonplace settings. Thus, when Meri goes away, it is not simply a personal tragedy, it is a monetary cataclysm as well. And of course, that porch plan does not appear to be so securely founded as a rock under Robyn's expectations. Sitting in their home, on the floor with all those trinkets and works of art around them for days on end, let alone weeks. The boxes, the disorganization, the constant purchasing, none of it works in the same way anymore. Kody was, in many respects, Robyn's meal ticket. Kody brought her a sense of financial prosperity, not to mention a certain celebrity status she obviously craved for herself. Now, with more people leaving her family, she's been forced to see things in a much different light. All their income was channeled into one master account through Kody Brown's LLC for years. However, after Meri left, along with subsequent departures by Janelle, arrangements changed. Each of these wives has since formed her own LLC. Christine is not left out either. Each one of them is now paid individually. Kody and his other wife, Robyn, have since formed their own LLC too. Instead of one big pool of money, there are 4 pools of money now. Only the Browns' portion of the property and cash will be available to Kody and his wife. That's a big change. They do not have any more access to the income, the credit, the leverage of the rest of the family. So when I watch Robyn crying the way she's crying, I am not seeing someone crying for the loss of the porch dream. I am seeing someone acknowledge that the money train has pulled into the station and stopped. Kody is recognizing the loss of their credit, the loss of their purchasing power, and the question becomes, what are we going to do? He clearly didn't want Meri there on an emotional level, but now that she's actually left, it's like, oh no, she's really leaving. And I don't think Kody's grieving over losing Meri. I think he's grieving over what she brought to the table money-wise, she says. And this is another hard truth. Robyn only really has Meri. The rest of her siblings do not trust Robyn, and she knows that they do not like her. So if Meri decides to split, Robyn will lose the only sister wife that she has left. And that's a lot to take in at one time. Loses the fantasy of that porch life. And in the same moment, she loses the only member of the family who was left that wanted anything to do with her. And it's with all of that in mind that part of me can totally believe the tears are about the simplest of facts. She's left with Kody, and she's by herself. And in all of it, I go back to what Garrison said, essentially. Fine, you can have him. You win. And the truth is, it all feels like exactly what's happening. Kody's going to do what Kody's going to do, Robyn always says. And yeah, obviously it took 2 people to create this situation, but as I see it, Kody and Robyn were the explosive combination of 2 people with the same set of ends in mind. More money, more control, more power, and more attention. And they were taking that from everybody else in the family. Now, as the entire situation is unraveling, the tears she cries don't seem like she's grieving for the family.
It's grieving over herself. It's not about the sister wives or the kiddos on the porch. It's about Robyn losing the life she knows she's going to have. Honestly, this season has been tough for me. While all the other shows are dealing with people who are looking for a reality TV career, our group is being taken advantage of. To know that they're not all being paid is just not right. But in a weird way, this season is like karmic justice. Finally, we're seeing things as they are. Polygamy, as we are experiencing it, it's not good.
So yes, I am on board with this season as long as I get to watch the consequences unfold, which I believe includes not only Kody, but Robyn as well. I do not believe Robyn deserves the hate, but she also definitely needs to be included in this problem she has created. Watching her have a dramatic breakdown over something she contributed to being destroyed in the first place makes no sense. It's even worse, though, if you think back to the fact that it's the same woman who was being so critical of stretch marks, judging the other wives, and disgrading their marriages with Kody. And now, because they are leaving, she is sobbing? It doesn't sit right with me, because all I see is tears of cash. But that's my 2 cents. What are your thoughts on this one? Do you think the jig is finally up? Are you looking forward to this season, or are you just done at this point? Share your thoughts in comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye!